In primary school, it was a weird feeling because for me, being dark was always associated with negativity.
As a dark-skinned black woman in school after the summer holidays, it'd be September time, and like you'd have that student come up to you like, look, try to compare.
When a guy says, I only want to date a peng lighty.
No foundation for a dark-skinned girl, but 50 shades of beige.
First time I had a little boo friend. Actually, his grandmother compared me to the color of a paper bag and said that I was too dark chocolate for him, and he couldn't date me. And I said, what the hell?
Dark skin, light skin, but will I ever really be the right skin? If I could paint the world with just my thoughts and intuition, I would leave the canvas blank. You know, to fit the beauty bias. That's right, the so-called pretty privilege that you desperately claim not to have. You see, sounding ghetto is just as bad as sounding white. Because if I don't enunciate my T's, I'm too black. But if I grew up in the heart of London, I'm too white. But racism is a topic for another day. Because it's Black Lives Matter until there's segregation and discontent within our own race. We hear it all the time.
You look pretty for a dark-skinned person. Is that your real hair?
We're now a fetishized chocolate-skinned dish, society's guinea pigs to, you have nappy hair. You're so blick, you fade in the dark. Terms and phrases that are now normalized within society. There's an unspoken hatred within our own race. And when they see us hate ourselves, it only draws us closer to their £1 million investment schemes.
As sales for skin bleaching products net at £7 billion and rising every single year.
But it's sad. It's sad that we have to change ourselves to please the majority, to not be chosen over, you know, sunshine, angels, heavens. You got it, light-skinned people.
Dear the black community, did you know that you can restore your complexion by trying our Allure cosmetic that will give you the power to be a more confident you, leaving your skin fair and beautiful? For brighter and whiter skin, you'll be unblemished and dirt-free with decontaminated grace, making you attractive and fair. Knock out your friends with a smashing personality that can be obtained through us. Make yourself irresistible. It's a real beauty therapist that has the solutions for the darkness. You know what they say, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Over the years, featureism and texturism embodies what a beautiful or handsome person is. The media has perpetuated the controversial notion that beauty equals a light skin and thus put a lot of undue pressure on celebrities such as Beyonce, Lil' Kim, Sammy Sosa, Bob Risky, and countless other icons. But where does that leave us? Lupita Nyong'o can't represent us on her own. You see, celebrities constantly feel insecure, and so feel the pressure to change their appearance too. For the lighter they look, the prettier they look. And the prettier they look, the more accepted they get. And the more accepted they get, the closer they are in the spectrum to appearing more European. Are you starting to see my point now? Enough is enough. No more wishing I could look like them. For when I look at my mother, I'm reminded of who I am. For we all bleed the same blood from the same blue veins, regardless of how many drops we shed. And we don't need a paper bag to test that. So why should I feel as though my life has no meaning? Like there's a hierarchy and I'm at the very bottom. How is that fair? How is that right? Answer, it is not.
I have a dream that one day, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream.
I have a dream that one day we can unify and uplift one another. But first, we need to know that we're not just cheap labor, we're people too. Because right now, it's a World War III. Corruption versus greed. You versus me. You've heard it all from her. They pick and choose who's hot or not, who's good and who's evil, describing the light as the good and the dark as the bad. Bats, death, cats, witches, rats, evil, creaks, cackles, you name it, they're bad. For even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the darkness of death, I fear no evil, for God is with me. And although people say black is beautiful, it needs to be clear that all black is beautiful. For as long as we are made in His image, we are beautiful.